as a political scientist, we're always interested in how politics work and how citizens try to make politics work. So when I was working on a book on Swedish civil society, and I noticed that environmental organizations started to be more interested in how you could use the market as an arena for politics to because they were dissatisfied. They thought that the Swedish state was lagging behind on certain types of environmental regulations. And then so that was one part. And then we did a study also looking at how citizens participate in politics, and we found that boycotting was something that was just mushrooming in Sweden. We didn't get it because there was nothing big going on then in terms of campaigns for getting people to purchase more ethically or greener. And then I remembered also when I grew up, there was this huge boycott, a great boycott, dealing with ethical concerns about how farm laborers were working. And so all these different sort of impulses sort of like just got put together, and then I started to try to form a research field on this particular issue. So that's how I got involved in it.
Can I ask a little bit about how it's maybe has affected your own personal approach to politics consumption?
I could say something more about how it's affected my approach to doing political science, if I can answer that way. Because I found out early on that there was a lot of dismay and distrust in just studying this area. If you can study consumer policy as a political scientist, but when you start to look at what individual consumers might do or how citizens can use their roles as a consumer, that was something that was considered to be highly problematic because it sounded like it was a neoliberal policy advocacy, which it wasn't. It was just wanting to study what was going on in real life.
And was that seen as a bit of a conflict then between a kind of neoliberal market and these kind of challenges that people were trying to...
Yeah, it was seen as, in the United States, for instance, as rolling back the state. It fed into some really very strong movements about privatization and shrinking government's role, getting government off the backs of citizens. But that wasn't the point of doing this research. It was just to see how politics is involved in our lifestyles and how we could actually use different mechanisms, whether it's the choice mechanism or other mechanisms, to try to do something politically.
Is there any identifiable changes that you're observing through your research over the last number of years?
So I've been doing this type of research for a while now, and there are some interesting changes you can see. There's more people doing this type of research, and it's becoming richer and more diversified. We see some of that at the seminar today, looking at the role of maybe the shared economy, discussions about types of communities, ethical consumption communities that are developing, and that's something that scholars are more interested in studying as well. So this way of looking at it through surveys, that's still continuing, but there's richer and other ways of approaching the topic, and that's a big change from when I started working on this.